Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wished it felt more magical? Imagine shimmering rings stretching across the heavens, glowing in the sunlight by day, and painting the night with breathtaking patterns. A celestial masterpiece, much like Saturn's iconic rings, arching above us, casting shadows, illuminating the dark, and transforming Earth's skies into something out of a dream. But what if this wasn't just fantasy? What if Earth really had rings like Saturn? How would they form? Would they bring beauty, or would they reshape our ecosystems, weather, and daily lives in unexpected ways? In this video, we'll explore this dazzling alternate reality, uncovering how Earth might acquire its own rings, the changes they'd bring to our world, and the challenges of living beneath such stunning celestial sight. Let's dive into the science behind the spectacle and imagine the incredible possibilities. Before we imagine Earth with rings, how do other planets like Saturn have rings? And how do they affect or benefit the planet? Saturn's stunning rings are one of the most iconic features in our solar system. These rings are formed when debris, such as ice, dust, and rocks, is captured by a planet's gravity. This material can come from moons shattered by collisions or from leftover remnants of planetary formation. For Saturn, its rings are mainly composed of icy particles, reflecting sunlight and creating that brilliant shine we all recognize. But these rings aren't just beautiful, they play an important role in Saturn's system. They help regulate the planet's gravitational interactions with its moons and even influence the orbits of smaller bodies around the planet. While Saturn's rings are the most famous, other planets also have their own rings, though they're not as easily visible. Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune all have faint rings made of dust and small particles. These rings, though less spectacular, still provide valuable insights into the conditions of their respective planetary systems. The presence of rings on these planets helps scientists understand how gravitational forces shape not only the planets themselves, but also their moons, magnetic fields, and surrounding space environments. Saturn's rings, in particular, remain the most vivid example of how cosmic events and gravity can dramatically influence a planet's environment. Now that we understand how Saturn's rings play a crucial role in its system, it's intriguing to consider. Could Earth ever experience something similar? Unlike Saturn's ancient rings, which formed billions of years ago from ice and rock, Earth's rings would likely come from a catastrophic event, like a massive asteroid impact. Imagine a collision so powerful it sends debris flying into orbit, creating a band of rocky and icy fragments circling our planet. Over time, gravity would pull these fragments together, organizing them into a ring system. The appearance of Earth's rings would depend on what they're made of. Icy rings would shimmer and sparkle in the sunlight, while rocky ones would look darker and more subtle. But the thing is, while it's possible for Earth to get rings from such an event, they wouldn't be as grand as Saturn's. Earth's stronger gravity would make it difficult for rings to remain stable for billions of years, so they'd likely be temporary, lasting only a few million years at most. Even if they did form, Earth's rings would likely be smaller and less majestic than Saturn's. Still, the idea of Earth with rings, however short-lived, is a fascinating possibility to explore. In an alternate reality where Earth has rings, these rings would become an integral part of the planet's story, shaping everything from life to climate to the course of human evolution. If the rings had formed billions of years ago before life existed, Earth would have looked nothing like the planet we know today. The sky was no longer a canvas of blue and stars. It was a shifting expanse of ice and rock, constantly moving and constantly changing. The sunlight reflecting off the rings bathed the planet in a soft, perpetual twilight, extending dawn and dusk into hours, sometimes even days. This constant, diffused light would have had profound effects on life. Plants and early organisms would have adapted to a world where the sun never fully rose or set. Flora would have evolved to thrive in low-light conditions, while fauna might have developed heightened senses or unique ways to cope with the prolonged twilight. Creatures of the night would have flourished alongside those of the day, creating a blurred boundary between what is considered nocturnal and diurnal. Earth would have become a planet of continuous transformation, always in flux, always with one foot in daylight and the other in shadow. However, Earth's rings will not just alter how the planet looks, they will drastically change its climate. The rings, like a celestial filter, would have redirected sunlight in strange, unpredictable ways. In some areas, this might have resulted in endless summers, where warmth extended across the globe, giving way to longer growing seasons and perhaps even new tropical zones. In other places, the rings would have created an eternal winter, casting certain regions into shadow for longer stretches of time and making them inhospitable to most forms of life. The rings' effects on Earth's atmosphere would have created weather patterns so volatile that no one could predict what the next day would bring. The entire ecosystem will be evolving around these shifts. Some species might have adapted to live in the twilight, while others could have found refuge in the shadows. If humans had emerged in this strange, altered Earth, our development would have been shaped by the unceasing influence of the rings. Our eyes might have evolved to see more clearly in dim, scattered light, and our sleep cycles would have been vastly different from what we know today. Instead of the clear distinction between day and night, humans would have lived in a perpetual cycle of twilight, and the concept of time would have felt different, our biological clocks likely syncing to the gentle, unpredictable rhythms of the rings. But while the rings would create a stunning backdrop for life and cool adaptations, they would also bring significant challenges. Satellites, which are crucial for our communication, weather forecasting, and navigation, would have to contend with the constant debris in orbit. This could throw off everything from GPS systems to international banking networks. Space exploration, too, would face a huge setback, as launching rockets would become a dangerous endeavor, navigating through a minefield of ringed debris. The dreams of exploring the cosmos might be delayed indefinitely, as our technology would have to evolve just to survive in this new, ringed world. In such a world, human civilizations would face challenges that seem foreign to us today. With climate and light cycles constantly in flux, societies would adapt to a world that was never fully predictable. Cities might be designed to track the shifting light patterns of the rings, with buildings optimized to maximize or block the light. Picture people living in places where the sun never fully sets, or in cities locked in eternal night, each adaptation reflecting the incredible resilience of humanity in the face of an ever-changing environment. Earth with rings would undoubtedly be a breathtaking sight, its sky transformed into a celestial canvas of shimmering arcs, a constant reminder of the vastness and beauty of the universe. However, beyond the visual wonder, these rings would reshape everything from our planet's ecosystems to the way we live. The perpetual twilight, unpredictable weather, and volatile climate would push life on Earth to adapt in unimaginable ways. Humanity would face challenges that are difficult to fully comprehend. Satellites struggling to function, space exploration becoming perilous, and technology needing to evolve to survive in this altered world. In this alternate reality, while the rings would present significant challenges, they would also drive humanity to innovate and life to adapt in extraordinary ways. The constant twilight and shifting climates the rings would bring could spark new ways of living, growing, and exploring, showcasing the remarkable resilience of life. Thanks for joining us as we imagined what Earth would be like with rings. If you enjoyed exploring interesting stories with us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. What topics do you want us to dive into next? Let us know in the comments. Join us as we get animated about science here at Animated Science.